Loaded. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NSAR Circus. No, I'm just kidding. Just want to get you guys light and lively and relaxed, because when you relax, that's how you learn. When you're up to stressed, nothing goes in and nothing sticks. So I'm not going to start my comedian routine here. I save that for the family at home, and they got tomatoes, lettuce that they throw at me, and it's always kind of fun to do this. But anyway, that's another life. So today I'm going to go through the new Webforms 219, but also, if you're not aware, I'm going to show you a few handy-dandy tricks that just 1 second here.
What is it? Lots of what? Flowers. Oh, yeah.
Not on a mute. Through Paragon. Everybody know that? Well, I'm going to show you that. It's a really handy dandy tool. It makes sending a listing to somebody very, very simply, because it goes through. How many people know about the collab share link? Okay, so collab share link is basically the same thing by text. It's just sending a link through the text. They click on it and it goes to Collab Center Lite, which is just a light version of that listing. Does anybody use statistics? Okay, what do you use for statistics right now? What do you use? Okay, and what do you use? Statistical reporting. Okay, so thank you. In Paragon right now, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but if you click on resources and in the drop down to something called MLS charts, but don't go there, because in 2 weeks it's gone. MLS charts is a program that we use currently for statistical reporting. The thing with this MLS charts and statistical reporting is that stat reporting is based on closing date, and MLS charts is based on firm date, sold date, right? So you'll probably get a higher number, especially this time of year, because the thing's closing in the new year. So as of December 31st, MLS charts contract is over, and we have a brand new program that's going to be introduced first week of January. It's a product by Showing Time. Everybody knows Showing Time, right? That wonderful program we have. They have something called InfoSparks and Fast Stats. So instead of you trying to figure everything out when it comes to getting stats with our system, this system, when it is unveiled in January, is going to be your best friend, and it's going to be so easy to use. I would be surprised if everybody finally used stats, right? Which I think are very important. But I don't have a demo site for you to look at, but basically the way it works is click, 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 stats. It's that simple. You pick a choice, you pick your choices, and by the time you get to the end of your choices, your stats will be produced weekly, monthly, yearly. It's even going to have interactive maps. So if you want to find out specific charts on an area, a community, a region, a district, sub-district, go to the map, click on it, instant stats. No more trying to figure this stuff out. It will be so easy.
Export these charts up.
I believe you can. Yes, you can. And you can push them live so that if you send it to somebody, they can click on the link and they can get live stats. So it'll stay current and up to date as long as they have that link available to them. But again, the key to this is that it is so easy and simple to use that the MLS charts that we had and even that stat reporting is like how, what, when, where, what, how do I figure this stuff out? How do I get my charts? But again, we'll have training for that, but in January, brand new program, look for it under resources. Now, everybody follow me. We're going to go to preferences. And under preferences, I want you to go to the left and at the top, click on user. So we're going to preferences. You have a late slip there, buddy?
No, the client called me. I can't multitask. The client called me. I'm talking on my phone. And then you know it wasn't an insightful. If you hadn't hung up, it would have seemed true.
That's okay. I know Mike, so I can call him anything I want. All right, so we're going to preferences. We're going to user. When you click on user on the left-hand side, you will now see a new button called the mobile account settings. Everybody see that? Click on mobile account settings, and on the right-hand side, your cell number should be populated in that box. If your cell number is not there, type in your cell number. It might actually default to whatever you have as your main number in the system. So if you have the main number here for the office, take it out and put in your cell number, because that is what's going to enable you to use the texting feature that is available within Paragon. So once you have your number in there, you're going to click on save at the top. Save, 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 save. Yep, you go to preferences, you go to the left, top, user, and then on that first column that's open, you're going to click on mobile account settings. And then you put in your cell number. So there's a couple of ways that we can send information through text. The best way to do it is make sure that you have these people in your contact folder, because that way you can click and choose and find and get something sent really fast. If you don't, you got to go through the long route of putting in the name and the number and blah, 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 right? But here's how it works very simply. So if I click on search residential, and I'm just going to bring up a previous search here. Search. And you can only do this with active listings. No other status is going to work. Has to be an active listing. So I'll click on one. I can click on both or as many as I want. Now when I go up to share right here, you'll see that I now have a new option, text, right there under the collab link share. I got text. So now all I have to do is search my contacts, pick the number, or I can type in the number, click send. Let me just see here. 24405. Whoops, there it is right there, right? If you pick the contact that's already in the contact folder, you'll see the default number is right at the top. But if it isn't there, you can just very simply add the new number to the list on the bottom. So I will click send message. I have to get my phone ready for this because I want you to see it working. Okay, here we go. Send the message. Oh no. Oh, I got to take that out. There we go. Send the message. Send is gone. And I had that in my phone before I could even get my screen cleared, right? So here's what it says on the top. I know you can't read that, but when you send a text through Paragon, it says, Steve Kaloran has shared property listings with you. The link, contact Steve, my cell number. If you want to stop the updates or the texting, reply stop, right? Very easy, very simple, and it's labeled so that your client's not going to think it's spam and delete it and go, what the heck are they doing, right? It's very well labeled and understood that, hey, my realtor sent me a text. And I can click on that link and know that I'm going to go and see that listing. So what do they see? So has everybody in the room used Collab Share Link? Everybody? Okay. Mike, I see your, no? Okay, so everybody, we used to go click on email and send the link by email, right? Send them a client cut. That's the most boringest, crappiest piece of material you could ever send a client. Don't ever send them a client cut. Don't ever. What you do is you go select the listings. And again, this works for active only. We're going to go to share. And this time it's Collab Link Share. And when I click on that link, all this is going to do is show me a templated page of what it's going to actually look like. But my goal in this page is to go to the very top right and copy the link. I need to copy this link. I mean, I could highlight it, right click it, copy it. Don't need to. Just click copy the link. It goes right to your clipboard. And from there, you just very simply compose the email, paste it in, send it, gone. And where does the client go? They go right here. Collab Center Lite. So now they go directly to a web page. You are front and center. Phone number, email is right to the top. Great thing about this is when you click on the email button, there's no email program. You simply click on it, enter your info, click send, and it's gone. There's no Outlook, there's no Yahoo, Gmail, none of that stuff needs to be integrated. Very simple, very easy for the client. But what I like about this is that when you click on the property, we get a map view, we get a street view, we get any price reductions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just really easy, really clean, very, very nice for a client to actually receive. So use the Collab Share link and use your text feature. So when you use the text feature, that's what it's doing, is it's sending it to the Collab Center Lite. It's sending them this version of that property through to a website that they click on. And the great thing about using this stuff is that if you're sending the client multiple properties throughout the day or the week, it will automatically load to the bottom of the page that you've already created for that client. So they're not going to go to another web page and they're going to go back and forth. Where is this information? Where is it being accumulated? It is all going to one specific page, which is labeled by their email address. So as long as you're sending them something through Collab Share link or the texting, it automatically goes to that one page and anything new will just get loaded to the bottom of the page. So it's all organized in one area for the client, so they don't have to worry about trying to search and find all the information that they're looking for. Okay. Yeah, sure.
So share in front of me, and I have the,
Right.
just how you send it to.
Okay. So the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you do select the properties, right? Now let's say that I was actually looking at it in a client view, right? If I'm looking at my this listing in a client view, what I have to do is, if I don't know if you can see right here, there's a little box there. I just have to make sure that that box is selected. That is signifying to the software that I'm going to send this by a link. So I have to make sure that box is checked off. Once I do that, I go to share, share, Collab Link Share. Again, if you do Collab Link Share or texting, it's virtually the same thing. The texting just gives it directly to their phone, through their phone. They click on the link and it takes them right to the website. The other way, there's a few more steps. You got to send it by email. They'll still get there, but again, they got to go to email. They got to click on the link, send it by text. Easy, fast. So in this way, if you click on Collab Link Share, we get a pop-up window. We go to the top right, we copy the link. And once you copy the link, it's in your clipboard. You can use any program that you want to send the email. It does not have to be within Paragon. It can be Yahoo Mail, Gmail, Hotmail, any mail program you have. As long as you have that link, paste it, send it. I mean, if you wanted to, and what some people were doing before is that they just take that link and they would paste it into a text and just send it to the client that way, right? But now we've alleviated that by having a text button, click, 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 away it goes, and they've got it just like that.
You could also paste it into like Facebook. Say like, check out my newest listing.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's also, everybody knows that there is a Facebook and a Twitter plugin to Paragon, right? Everybody knows that? Everybody knows that? Nobody knows that? Okay. So when you go to put a listing onto the system, how many people in this room put their own listings into the system? Okay, a few people? Okay. So when you put your listing into the system, and I'll show you this live here so you'll know where to look. When you go into the listing input form, I got to reduce this a bit. You're going to look to the left-hand side. I don't know if you can see that down there. Right here it says share listing to Facebook and share to Twitter. So on the left-hand side, I know you can't see it in the back, but on the left-hand side, that's where you're going to share it to Twitter and share it to Facebook right there. It's a very simple one click. It's online.
You can go there later.
Yeah, you don't have to do it when you put the listing in. I'm going to show you how to put it in there after the fact. And if you don't have listing input privileges, I'll show you how to get it online. It's very easy, very simple. So if I go, you just get this number, 27424. Oops. Okay, so when you go into Paragon and up at the top, you see where it says listings. And when you go to listings, you will click on maintain listings on the right-hand column. So again, if you don't have listing input privileges, this is how you get your listings to Facebook and Twitter. Go to listings in the pop down, go to the right, click on listings. When you do that, your listings will be populated to this screen. And the reason why a lot of people don't use this feature is because it's probably over to the far right. So you have to scroll to the far right portion of your screen. And you're going to see select an action. And when you click on select an action, in the pop-up, it's right there. Share to Facebook, share to Twitter. It's very simple. Click, log in, done. Nothing more. Now, one thing you have to remember is that we have social media guidelines. We must abide by the rules because we do not want the public to think it's a FISBO or to lead them down a path to say, oh, by the way, I'm a realtor attached to this property. When you post those to social media, 3 requirements. First one is the MLS number has to be on there. Second thing is the realtor logo, or the MS logo has to be on there. And the third thing, actually, I don't think there is a third thing. My brain got a little bit ahead of myself. Those 2 things have to be there. You have to make sure that it does have an MLS number and that you do provide the appropriate logo or insignia stating that this is an MLS realtor property, right? Because we want to distinguish it when it does go to social media, that we're not getting thrown into the bowl of FISBOs and those sort of things, right? We got to project that professional image once we go onto social media. But if you're ever curious, there's social media guidelines that are on the front page of the NSAR dashboard. If you're not sure where it is, send me an email and I'll make sure that you get it. So everybody know how to get in touch with me? Perfect. Okay. So let me ask you a question. As soon as I can get that out of the way. Okay. So we have Webforms, a new Webforms 2019, and we have ZipForm Plus. Does anybody in the room use ZipForm Plus? Okay. Nobody. That's okay. That's okay. I just want to get you up to speed with a few things and what's happening in the background. Webforms 2019. Does anybody have any idea who actually owns Webforms right now? Yeah, but what company owns Webforms? It's a product division of, but the actual owner of Webforms, the company that owns the property of the software? Lone Wolf Technologies. Thank you very much. That's who owns it. You cheated. No, you didn't. Now, here's the other thing. ZipForm Plus is a program similar to Webforms, period. It's just the same sort of thing where you can go in, put your forms together, create templates, electronic signatures, blah, 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 blah. All said, all done, gone, right? So the reason why...
Sync Paragon, so you saving you from doing it twice.
Right.
You didn't have
Correct. Right. But Webforms is caught up.
to do that.
Webforms is caught up. Right. See, when we got Zip Form Plus, it was because they didn't have a lot of the features. Webforms didn't have a lot of the features that a lot of people were asking for. And one of them was to be able to transfer information back and forth between Paragon and Zip Form Plus. Right? We could do that. The other added benefit of Zip Form Plus was the fact that you can use an electronic signature called digital ink that is free of charge. You don't have to pay for the electronic signature in Zip Form Plus. It's free. Is it easier than DocuSign? Yes. It actually is easy, but guess what? It's going to get even easier because the people at Zip Form Plus have redesigned the whole interface to make it so simple and smooth because they understand the frustration of people who don't understand the technology and the software, especially on the receiving end of it, right? But here's the mind-blowing thing about all of this. Guess who owns Zip Form Plus? Lone Wolf Technologies. That's right. They purchased Zip Form Plus last August. So now they own both platforms. So what does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, it means that they bought Zip Form Plus because Zip Form Plus has some technologies that they don't have in Webforms. So now we're going to start to see this happening between these two programs. And I'm not predicting the future and I'm not throwing out rumors, but because they own both products, it might just mesh and gel into one complete product. I don't know that. I can't speculate it. I can't throw out a rumor. I have no knowledge, but I've got a feeling that's what's going to start happening. So, no, it's not. It's a great program if you are a computer expert, if you understand how to use software, but it's very tedious, very hard to learn. But once you got it, right? So again, I'm not throwing out things into the rumor mill. I'm just saying that Lone Wolf has both of these products, and somewhere down the road, these things are going to mesh and become one super product. Okay? So because you don't use Zip Form Plus, that's not a bad thing or a good thing, because we're going right to Webforms 2019. So how many people got their transaction kits moved over? Most of them? Okay. How many people have not done that yet? Okay. Well, that's true.
Post-transaction, I don't
Yeah. Here's the key. It was the fear. Everybody got the fear. Make sure you do this, cuz on January the 1st, it's gone, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what's going on, right? Anything that you have in old Webforms, the Webforms legacy, they call it, you can take those transaction kits and move them to the new Webforms 219. But here's the big caveat. They are going to be flattened documents. You cannot edit those documents anymore. They're gone. They're flat. They're gone, right? So we thought, why do we even have that feature available? Why are you doing that, right? And the reason is because if you have any clauses or anything written specifically with any documentation or agreements, you're still able to get in and get that document and be able to copy and paste that information out of there. That's the only reason. So if you've got 5, 10, 20, 40, 80 or more transactions sitting in Webforms legacy, the old one, you don't have to move them all over. If you, what's that?
Somebody should have told us.
I know that, right? I know that, exactly. And that's why I'm here.
Right now, you're saying that the old one goes,
When it's still, you can still do it up until December 31st. On January the 1st, anything you have in legacy, a Webforms legacy is gone. It's gone. But we still have that available. You won't be able to get back to your old transaction kits. That program will no longer exist. It's going to be, the plug is being pulled.
My kid in the,
Oh, the kit in the new one's fine.
yeah, right now I can edit it.
The one that you transferred over? Yeah, that's very strange because it's supposed to be flattened. That was news, yeah. Unless you created it within the new Webforms. Are you sure? Because anything from Webforms legacy that's transferred over It's flattened. You cannot edit that document whatsoever. So yesterday, everybody saw the big news about December 16th, and oh my God, the sky is falling, right? All that meant was that you can't do any more new things in Webforms Legacy. That day has come, and that day has arrived. Yesterday, as of yesterday, you cannot go into Webforms Legacy and start a new transaction kit. Not available. It's gone.
It was a lot of stress though.
Yeah.
Like all us men are stressed about shopping in general.
You need a personal shopper.
And then they added this on.
Here's the thing. I know. We all, that's the thing with deadlines, right? I know I've got up until this date to do anything, but we've been screaming at you for the last 6 months. Get on board, get on board, get on board. And now here we are with 2 weeks left in the year, and it's like, oh my God, I didn't buy my ticket to get on board, right? But again, that's okay, because when I start to show you the program, your stress level is going to start to decrease when it comes to Webforms 2019, and your shopping is still going to be a high stress level. So sorry. Okay, so here's something I want everybody to really take in and be aware of. Very, very succinctly, be aware of this. In my software program, to the top left, you see Paragon News. Okay? I'll bet you $8,500,000 million that 50% of the room or more have never even clicked on that link or know what it means. Am I right? Ta-da! On Paragon, it's in the top left corner of my screen. It's called Paragon News. Here's the thing. Like I said before, every 6 weeks, something changes or gets updated in Paragon. Always, right? It's a living document. And we depend on your feedback to make Paragon better. So if you see something you want added, removed, changed, updated, as soon as you send that email to me, it goes right to the top of the desk at Paragon. We take that information very, very seriously. Trust me, we do. Because if we don't have your feedback, this program doesn't get better. So when you see that Paragon News, you don't have to go there every day, but it's going to start prompting you. Hey, in 3 days, we got an update coming. Whoa, 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 right? So all you have to do is the day of or the day after, it says, click here for more. And guess what? It tells you all about Paragon texting and how to do it, right? So all you have to do is just be aware that every 6 weeks, there's major updates to Paragon that will make your life a lot easier when you're using it. So we've got all kinds of new things coming in the new year that I'll tell you about later on today. But if you don't stay up to tune with that, your competition is going to get ahead of you. And when you go to an interview and they ask you about something about this realtor showed me this cool thing that he's going to hook me up with, and you're like, just a second, I got to call Steve, right? So watch out for that Paragon News and be up to date with what's happening, because there are some pretty big changes coming in the new year when it comes to Paragon. We're always in the background working. Now, one thing I want to tell you, I want to get you guys excited about stuff. One thing I'm going to show you before we jump into the web forms is this. Just give me 2 seconds to load it up. Okay. Anybody in the room use Paragon Mobile? Probably not. What a piece of crap that software is, right? You can say anything you want. Don't worry. I'll never take it personal, and I'll never take it back to Roger Bootler. So don't worry. Don't worry. I feel the love in the room. Don't worry. So here's the thing. In January, we're going to be releasing a brand new product called Paragon Connect. And it is going to change the way that you do real estate on your phone. Trust me, it will. So what is it going to do, Steve? Razzle dazzle me. What's that?
I like to know this warranty, trust me.
Yeah, Trust me, I know Mike Arthur. Second here. Here's the thing. I'm showing you the desktop version of Paragon Connect. And if you don't want to go to the regular Paragon, you can now go to Paragon Connect on your desktop or through your phone. Because now when you go to Paragon, the desktop version, you've got all of your clients linked up through Collab site, all of these different connections with what's going on, any messages, are they doing any new searches? You got to go into Paragon to find all that stuff, right? Well, now you don't have to, because when you go to Paragon Connect, which is the mobile site, which is not an app, it's just a site. So when you log into Paragon on your phone, it'll say desktop version, mobile version. You click on mobile, you will go right to the brand new Paragon Connect. Now, what's so significant about this page? If you look here, all of my clients are now connected to me through my phone. I have everything right at my fingertips. I no longer have to log into Paragon to find out what my clients are doing, if they've liked or disliked or did their own searches. I now have that right on my phone. Perfect, right? But it gets even better than that, because if you're showing some clients some properties and they happen to say, well, what's in Cole Harbor? I'm kind of interested in that area. And you're in your car and you've got your phone. So what do you do? What site do you guys go to check out properties throughout the, what is it? Oh, you have a KW. Okay. So now what we have in Paragon Mobile is we have exactly that. So now we can actually do a live search that will show us all the live listings in the province. I can zoom in, click on, view everything. Yep. This is the desktop version. When you get it on your phone, it's going to be reduced down to size so that you can actually see it. Oh yeah, this program was first designed on the phone, and then it was developed for the desktop. So again, you can log into the Paragon program, or you can log into your Paragon Connect. There's two different ways you can get in and access information. This one is more specific to what you're doing, what your clients are up to, and these sort of things. But yeah, it's going to be reduced and it'll fit your phone perfectly. So you'll be able to navigate and use the software very, very, very simply. So like I said, you can go in, you've got all the search functionality. You can search whatever neighborhood, region, district, what have you, and it's all live data. It's all on the map and it's all flags, and it'll show you exactly what, when, where, and why. Easy, easy, easy. So that is going to be coming in January. So we have lots of new stuff coming. Okay, Webforms. Okay. Sign in.
Paragon Connect is not on the website.
It's not there yet. No, it's still in the final test phases, and it will be released in early January. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. One other thing I'm going to show you real quickly, I'm just going to jump back for half a second, is that I do a lot of training, and people are always asking me, they say, Steve, I love what you're telling me, but when I go to Paragon, I have no idea where to find what you just taught me. I guess we're going to have to fix that up real quick. So this center section of Paragon right here, this is going to change in the new year because we've redesigned the interface. So when you're looking for something, it's a matter of click, 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 I found it, right? None of this, where the hell is it? I got to call Steve, it's buried, where, what, when, I can't find it, right? Frustration. So that center section of Paragon in the new year is going to be brand new, refreshed, and it'll be much, much easier to find information, find tips and tricks and all these things that I teach and train you. They'll all be on there in a nice quick 1 to 2 minute video. Click on it, learn it, and you'll be ahead of the pack. Okay. So when you first log into Webforms, it asks you, do you want to see quick start guides, read it later, don't show it again, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm going to show you a little shortcut that I created on Paragon. It's right here. So when you log into Paragon, it says learn how to transfer your transaction kits. Click here and go to the Korea Training Hub. Click here, right? So let me show you the Korea Training Hub. because it is everything you are ever going to want to study, learn about Webforms 2019. Help guide, quick start guides, tutorials, training webinars, recorded webinars. After today, if you have questions or queries, you can call me. I will help you. I will guide you. But if it's at night, you don't have my home number. You could, yeah. Shh, shh. Phyllis, they're going to ask for it now. Quiet. This is the great place to get started because the videos that they put together are not 3 and 4 hour long, boring, crappy videos. They're very quickly 1 to 2 to 3 minute videos. How do you do this? Ah, I figured that out. How do I do that? Click, 2-minute video, right? So it takes you step by step by step, right? So if you went to quick start videos, we're not going to go through them, but I will show you. You see how they're set in progression? You just watch the first video. 3-minute video. Ah, I've got it. I'll go to the next one. Oh, I figured that one out. I go to the next one, right? So here's the thing. When you're learning the new software, don't open your arms and go, come at me, baby, right? Don't do it like that. Just pick up your spoon and go 1 bite at a time. That's the best way and easiest way to learn something. 1 bite at a time. So let's go through Webforms 1 bite at a time. Close. Okay, so I'm going back to legacy right now. You'll see in the top right, there's a legacy button and an arrow backwards. Click. Warning, you're going back to the future. Yep, go to legacy, right? We want to go back. So legacy is now switched to read-only mode. You cannot create any new transaction kits in Webforms legacy. Those days have come and gone. It's all 2019, right? So if you have a transaction kit and you need to transfer it, this is how you do it. I'm just going to click on a kit right here. You see at the top, as soon as I click on the transaction kit, automatically right at the top, I've got a message, Webforms. This has been transferred over to 2019. So when you go into your kits and you click on it right at the very top, it'll be in red and it'll ask you, do you want to transfer this over to Webforms 2019? All you have to do is click on the link at the bottom, right? See this right here? Everybody see that? Send a kit to Webforms 2019. As soon as you click that, you're done. It's done. It's just 1 click. Only 1 at a time. But again, remember that when you're transferring the kits, it will flatten them. You can no longer edit those documents. The major reason is that it will transfer over any clauses or information that you have within those transaction kits that you may want or need in the future for the new Webforms 2019. So remember, go to the kit, click on transfer to 2019. As soon as you click the button, it's already there. And when you go through your transaction kits, we'll tell you right at the top whether or not it's been migrated over.
So once you migrate one over and
Yep.
it's in the system, and add a form if you need to that transaction kit, or do you have to?
No, you can add to that transaction. But again, remember that that one file that you transferred over, whatever is in that, it's a flattened document.
No, I know, but you can add it.
Yep.
I don't-
Oh, yeah.
but if you add it.
Sure. Yep, we can do that.
You'd be able to tell one document. That's a fine.
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that because I haven't been able to transfer that in and test it. So I would say probably not.
Is there a way to make that document that you transfer editable?
You know, that's a good question. And I think that if you have some PDF reader programs will actually take a flattened document and turn it into an editable document. Like, for example, Acrobat Reader or Acrobat, is it Acrobat Reader? Yeah.
So there may be,
There could be some programs, I don't know, I haven't investigated that, but there are certain programs that you pay for them and you buy them, and it happens to be an Adobe Reader file. You'll be able to get back in there and edit that document. Take a little bit of work, a little bit of money to buy the program, but I believe that it is possible. Okay, so once we've got everything done, then at the very top, we see switch to Webforms 2019. Click. Now we're in the new Webforms. Okay, so this is our dashboard. This is going to help you organize your forms, your signatures, your life, everything that you're doing in Webforms 2019. And the great thing about this is that we can change and manipulate, add, remove whatever we want to our dashboard. It's our dashboard and we want control of it. So you have control of it. And here's how you control it. If you look to the very top right corner of your program, you'll see a lock. And if you click on that lock, it opens up, it unlocks, and now I can take those widgets and I can move them, delete them, add them. I can reduce them in size. I can manipulate them. I can do whatever I want to in order to make that desktop compatible with what and how I'm using it and doing my business, right? So for example, at the top, I've got tasks. Just click it, drag it down, and drop it. So once I drop it, you'll see to the bottom corner, I've got this little green triangle. So I can take that and I can just manipulate it, move it, drag it. I can do whatever I want to manipulate that screen so that it works exactly the way that I want it to, right? So once I'm done that, I click on the lock, and now my dashboard's locked. So I won't be able to change anything or update anything. It's in place and it's permanent until I click on that lock again. So you always have the control to manipulate and change your dashboard and the widgets that are on it, right? So let's go to the left-hand menu, which is always on the screen there. Let me just zoom that in a little bit here and get a little bigger. Okay. So it's kind of like reading hieroglyphics, right? What the heck does that mean and what is it all about? Well, watch this. You see at the top there, these three red lines? You know what they call that in the techie world? A hamburger menu. Yeah, I don't see any lettuce. But anyway, we're going to click on that hamburger menu and look what happens. Whoosh. Now I've got my menu. So after a while, you're going to start to learn what those icons mean. But in the meantime, if you want to learn what they are without having to guess or put your mouse on it, click that hamburger menu. The menu pops open.
So are those the same as above
Are they the same things that are above? No, they're not.
when you unlock?
No, this, whoops, this you're able to manipulate and change. This over here will always stay the same. This you cannot change or update. Okay? So the first one we're on is the dashboard. So let's go down the list. Next one, transactions. Right? So these are the ones that I transferred over from Legacy. So I know that they're in here. I've got them and I have control of them. Right? So if I click on one of these, it opens up into a window. And now, oh, I've got another lock here. Let's unlock that. Because now I can actually manipulate and change the icons that are within my transaction, right? So we have our dashboard. We have all the icons there that I can change and update. And then I have my transaction dashboard. So I'm going further into the software. And now I have the ability to go in and manipulate and change and update my dashboard for the transaction. So again, I'm not lost. Anything that I'm using on a regular basis, all I have to do is just click on it, drag it down, and it becomes a part of my transaction dashboard.
Have the same icons that you do. I don't have that create.
Depends on the form, right? And what I had moved over from the Legacy, right? So again, it depends on what type of a form that you've actually created or have brought over from your previous web forms to get. So what do you have at the top?
My icon is forms and boxes. I just don't have that.
That's because
I should-
it might already be in the list below. Do you see it down below? If you scroll down your page.
Is the create related to Authentisign?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have, okay, and that's why you don't have it, because you're not plugged into that electronic signature program. So once I finish that, manipulate it, change it, lock it, I'm ready to go. Now, I'm going to jump right to the electronic signature program and the link to it all, just so that, because we're on that topic. And we're going to go back up, and I'm going to go right down here. See where the shopping cart is here on the very bottom on the left? I want you to click on the shopping cart, because that is going to show you the electronic signatures that you can link to Webforms 2019. Now, here's another trivial question for you. Who owns Authentisign? Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf owns Authentisign. What are they not going to own? They're going to buy everything. So here's the thing. Authentisign, you are able to go into that link and you can sign up for a free month with Authentisign right now. If you don't have an electronic signature program linked to Webforms 2019, you can click on that button. I believe it says learn more, and it'll say 1 month free, click here, and you're ready to go. Now, if you already have an Authentisign account, that's the button you're going to click, because it doesn't automatically link that electronic signature program to the 2019. So you have to go in there and kind of give it a little boost, letting it know that, yes, I am connected and I am linked to this software. So DocuSign, EasySign, next one, Secure, Share. They're just electronic signature programs. Whatever you decide, whatever you choose, they're different price models to actually use it.
I'll have DocuSign free.
There you go. Everybody has DocuSign for free. So, but somebody's paying for it. Right? So what you will do is that if you go to DocuSign, do you have the link button there? Right? So all you're going to do is click on the link button. It'll link that to your account, and you're up and running and ready to go with electronic signatures. Just once. Yep, just once. Okay, so let's continue down our list. So we have our member dashboard. And then we go down to our next icon, which is our home button, which shows us our transactions. So any transactions that we have, this is where they're going to show up right as soon as you click on the home button. The next one, which is our pen, that is our Authentisign program, or your DocuSign, or whatever program that is linked to your software. So when you click on that link, you should be able to see DocuSign in that window letting you know. It's not, you don't see a pen? Okay, so that's probably because you need to get that program linked in DocuSign. Okay, refresh your page and see if it appears. Still doesn't? Oh, you get the pen when you're in the form? It should still pop up on the left here, because I'm not sure why that's not. Here's the thing that I've discovered in the last number of weeks, is that there are some bugs in the software. This is not perfected software. This is software that you're going to find there's a couple of bugs in it, and you're going to go to do something, and all of a sudden, guess what? It's not going to work. And you're going to be like, uh-oh, call me. And I say, well, you know, we've had that problem before. If you go back out and go back in, it works, et cetera, et cetera. But my advice to you is, if you call me, I have to call CREA. So if you call CREA directly, once they get the information and they know that there's a bug in the system, they can begin to go and fix it and get it cleaned up and fixed, so that it doesn't become a problem for everybody else. So if you don't see that pen on the left-hand side, even after you do link that DocuSign account, if you log out and then log back in, see if it appears. And if it doesn't, send me an email and I'll investigate it and see if I can figure out why you're not getting that pen. But it is linked to the account when you're using the electronic signature program.
Is there
And it did show up, eh? It appeared? Okay.
I just logged out, back in, it doesn't.
And it didn't show it?
Not under the
Can I see your computer there? Hmm. Mm. Hmm. That is very interesting. Let me just check something here. Very interesting. So I don't know the explanation to that. It sounds that I think it might be a glitch, but I wouldn't know until I contacted Korea to find out for sure.
Because they own that one and they.
Yeah, that could be another reason why, because they own Authentisign and they link that in there specifically for that particular program. But regardless, it should be there because it does show you your electronic signatures and what you have in the queue. But I'll research, investigate that. So our next icon on the list as we go down will be our forms. Here are all our forms right in here. So if you're looking for forms, NSAR Realtor forms, there they are, all in there. Next one is our documents. So,
NSAR is.
yep, they're all in there. Yep, perfect, they're all in there. Okay, so my inbox, my folders, viewing, again, this is just another way for you to start sharing the information that you're transferring back and forth through Webforms 2019. It's kind of hard for me to, that's what I really was trying to get from Webforms 2019 was to give me a demo site so I can start doing all these things and moving them back and forth. But because I can't get in and create transactions myself because I don't have any property, so to speak, makes it difficult for me to actually show you deep down inside and going through a transaction. But again, when you go to the website, the training hub, all that information is in there with just 2 and 3 very quick videos. They even have a search function, so when you go to the search function and you're looking for something specific, it'll bring that up and show you that specific video that they created for that information. What's that? This is the document menu is where you can actually keep information. So my inbox folder, anything, for example, that's being, what's the best way to describe that?
Like, I'm just thinking they would always go in. Action. Right.
Yeah, because
Like, what is that for? Like, does that put them in a kit? No.
no, you will do that separately. This is just very, how can I put this? So add a document, create a new instant fax, right? It's very limited in what it can do. So for example, in my list here, when I go to view shared document, all I have when I click on the plus sign is new instant fax or cover sheet, right? It's very, very limited in what it can do.
Right.
It's not like the all be all to take your information and throw it all around. It just has very limited use as to what you can use with those inbox folders and those type of things for. All you have to do is click to the top where it says add, and it'll show you what you can actually put into those actual forms or those folders and documents. So next one is our tasks. So again, if you are going to set up any tasks for any clients or yourselves, very easily, we go to the top right, we click on add, and now I can very easily put in the information that I want, and I can link up any task to any person that's in my contact folder. So for example, if I need a power bill from my client, I can assign it to them through here, give it a timeline, so that way they're going to get notified by email. This is due, here's the date, and I need it ASAP, right? It's just like any other task manager. You just create the task, put a timeline, assign it to person, and the rest of it's all ready to go.
So the available shares, my available shares. All
It's probably auto-loaded into the database because you guys have a back-end software system for Webforms, right? An auditing software. Because some brokerages have a third piece of software that is a back office to Webforms that does the accounting end of things. Yeah, might be. Not all brokers have it, but some do. It's a third party or it's a separate program that plugs into Webforms that they can use.
So can I just ask you a question?
Yep.
So it's saying task information. So
Right.
Whatever name you,
Yep,
the description, whatever it is.
right.
And then what says assignees, then it says available shares. What does that, why are all those names there? Like,
So those names are there because in case if you needed to send to one person or multiple people to share it with more people than just one, because you can assign the task to either yourself or to someone else or share that with anyone else other than or including the two separate parties or one that if it may
okay,
be.
but when I'm in task, I'm creating a task right now.
Yep.
So the name of the person I want.
Let me
to
bring
create
that
a
up.
task for.
Okay, so we're in a task. Yep.
So, and then, a day or whatever, and so available shares, like will that person that I create go that available shares?
That's right. Once you put that person in your contact folder, it's automatically going to be loaded in here in your
Right here in this task?
anybody, because it might be preloaded with all of the agents within the office.
Right.
But once you go to the contact folder and you start adding your contacts in, then their
Oh,
information is
so
going to auto-populate here.
Okay, so I can't create that person right here.
Oh, to put them into the contact folder
Yeah.
directly from here? It
So if I
doesn't
wanted to
look like
create-
we
if I
can do
want
that.
to Task for a client.
Yep. Unless they're in your contact folder, they won't populate. Right?
Where's my contact?
So right here, the next icon on the list. Whoops, that's faxing. Contacts. So in your contact folder, unfortunately, I don't know if there's a way to integrate or not. Let's see here. Mail, integrate,
Yeah.
filter. No. So you can create a contact or you can add a contact from Google. So if you are using the Google services for all of your contacts, then you can very easily just take that and dump it right into Webforms 2019. Other than that, you have to physically click on create the contact and go right through the whole process of putting them into the system. And once you do that, then they will auto-populate in your task folder so that you'll be able to pick and choose the people that you want to set a task for.
And can you delete all those other names?
Can you delete them? If you go to your contact folder, right?
So
'Cause-
my contact folder right now is empty. When I go into the task and all those assignees that are in there,
Right?
there's like a ton of, can I get rid of them?
Uh,
Yeah, can I get rid of all the? You don't want us? Oh. But it just seems like an awful lot of people that are sent to tasks.
yeah. Hmm.
Exactly.
At this point in time, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that because that information is auto-loaded from the back office. Like for me, if you look at this one, this information is all auto-loaded from the NSAR contact list. So that's probably a question for Kriya. Can I get these out of here? Can I delete these out of here? Because again, remember, this is brand new software and it's just like a brand new car. You got to drive it for a few miles before you figure everything out and whether or not something's going to fall off or whether you got to glue it back on, right? It's software. Next one we have is just a very simple fax form. So you can actually just, it doesn't fax from the system. A lot of people see that button, they go, oh, I can fax right from Webforms 2019. No, you can't. You fill out the form and you just very simply click the print button and away you go. You got a fax form. What's that?
That's weird. I'm just
Yeah.
surprised. There are certain cases that will.
Yeah.
CRA.
Some places still only accept faxes. Yeah. Yeah. Get into the new millennium. Next one on our list, as we said, is the contact folder. So you go up to the top right, you add in the contact, create a contact, and plus we can we delete from here? Once they're in the contact folder, I can delete it right from here. Delete. Right? I can delete it right from there. or I can edit it, right? So here at the top, we have our type. So I have all different kinds of type. So if I want to go and I want to find out all my contacts who are maybe inspectors, I can just go through there and I have my, see the filter button at the top here? My filter. So I can go in and I can just pick and choose whoever I want to pull from my database, as long as I designate them, right? It doesn't automatically do that. So when you're adding in a contact, it's probably a good idea to assign them as to who and what, how are they connected to you and to the software. Just simply by going through that list and then applying whomever and however they're connected to you. Next one, oh, this is the big one. This is where you're going to go in and make sure that everything in the back office of your program is actually set up properly. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but I recommend that you do take the time to actually go in here and just verify the information so that when you start creating your transaction kits, that the information in the back office is actually going to auto-populate into your forms, right? So we start off at the top here with your preferences, right? My user information, go in and make sure your user information is correct. I mean, it should already be auto-populated, but I always recommend go in there and just verify that information is correct. The other thing is, again, we go down here to email signature. Make sure you put in an email signature, right? A lot of people don't do that, but you should, because it helps to identify you. It gives the person on the receiving end all the information about you without having to go look for it. And then on the bottom, we have the branding, which of course will be your photo or your company logo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, it just adds to the documentation when you're sending these things out. So put these things in. Takes a few extra minutes, but it's definitely worth doing it. And then we have our shopping cart. So again, linking up our electronic signature program. And then on the bottom, we have our question mark, and that is your way to contact CREA and get more support on how to actually use this. So they have a form that you can fill out to the help desk, email address, and a phone number. It would be nice if they had a live chat, but they don't. For those of you who use Showing Time, everybody use Showing Time, right? Does everybody know that they have a chat option in there? But if you need help immediately, that there's a chat function that you can directly link to somebody and get your help ASAP. Because a lot of companies, what they're doing now is they're not going to put resources into people sitting behind phones. They're going to assign people to a computer and they're going to reply through texting because it's so much faster, so much easier for everybody involved. For example, let me just show you. If I go to Paragon and I go up to preferences at the top, and in my drop down, you will see, whoops, showing time setup right here, showing time setup. So when this populates on the left-hand side, I'll have my menu. And we have help and support on the left. I click help and support. I scroll down my page slightly and look right there, start a live chat. That is amazingly fast because I've had people call me up and say, Steve, showing time, problem, fix it. I'm like, give me 2 minutes. I go right into the chat section. Hey, how do I fix this? Here's how you do it, Steve. And I'm like, oh, hey, hi there, agent. Here's how you fix it. And they're like, man, you're fast. I love you, Steve. That works fantastically. So if you have a problem with showing time, by the time it takes you to get my number and call me, you would already have your answer if you went to the chat section of showing time. It's that fast. Okay. Back to web forms. Whoops, there we go. Okay. So let me go to my dashboard because this is important. What's on your dashboard is going to help you get up and running faster, quicker, without having to go to the left-hand navigation. So what we need to do now is we need to talk about setting up templates, because in the old web forms, we had transaction kits, right? So we took all of the forms and we dumped them into a file and then we used them accordingly. So here's how you should use and set up the new web forms. So the first thing you should do is go and create a template. So I already have some in here as an example, but what you'll do is go to the top right corner and you'll click on the plus sign. And then you will just very simply start to build your templated kits, right? So sellers, buyers, et cetera, residential, vacant land, commercial, you will set up your templates. So for example, I will put in another one here. Sellers, type, residential listing, description if I want to, and then I click save it. So from there, what I'm going to do is go down my list and I'm going to add the forms into my template, right? So here are my forms. I'm going to go to the NSAR forms. I'm just going to click away. I don't even know what I'm picking, but I'm just going to do it. Add, boom. The forms are now in my template, right? Click update, detailed update. So it's all set, it's all done. So when I start to begin a transaction and I'm going to be going through whether it's the listing process or the selling process for whatever status or for whatever class that I'm going to be using, it's so much easier to start with the template, because when I go back to my dashboard, now I'm going to create a transaction. I'm going to start from scratch. And what it's going to do, it's going to ask me, do you want to use it from a template? Do you want to pull in all those files that you have for that specific transaction for this particular transaction that we're creating?
So for instance, if you were. Right?
Yep.
And you wanted to follow the forms that go.
Right,
And you created a template listing.
right.
And I go into a transaction kit, put my seller's name as for my transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it will ask me if I want to use the seller template. And it'll
Correct.
bring all of that information in for me.
Correct. Yep.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Down the very bottom, it says teams and sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I work and my team, would they all have templates by me?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
We'll play with that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have a feeling that it probably won't, because I don't think that the programs interact outside of the actual program itself.
In my settings, I created a team and added all.
Did
my
you?
agents.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested to find that out. So if you do find out and it is linked, just send me an email, say update for you. It is linked or it's not linked, just so that I know, right? But again, here's another really handy dandy feature that you may not be aware of. And that is right here on the bottom. You're going to see this use wizard prevalently right across Webforms 2019. Because when that box is checked off, that is going to walk you through and guide you through every bit of the process. It's just like somebody right there. Okay, here's what you do next. Here's what you do next. Here's what you do next, right? Close. So the other thing, again, I don't know if DocuSign is going to do that, but Authentisign will give you the option right from the dashboard on starting the signing process. Very simply clicking on the link, signing name, transaction, et cetera, et cetera. It just walks you right through the process. Same with the email, emailing documents. It's all right here. Put in the recipient, the email address, the documents, attach it. Away they go. So like I said, Webforms legacy is gone. You can't go in there and start any new transaction kits. From today forward, you got to go to Webforms 2019. Take a few moments and start to watch some of the quick videos that I have on the Paragon desktop. Click on that link. It takes you to the training hub. and start watching just a few videos to kind of get you up to speed with the knowledge and how to use these new program. I mean, for the most part, it's going to work very similar in the same way that you use the old web forms. It's just that you're going to have a few extra features that you're going to have to go through in order to get the information organized within the software, right?
How do I see? Can't find.
There's no, did you see,
To start.
you see the plus sign? Watch my screen. When I go to my dashboard, and here's my widget templates, that plus sign that's on the house, that's going to open up and show me my templates.
Make this template.
I've already made these, right?
So when I'm just trying to create a transaction for a residential listing or data from Nova Scotia Association's Realtors, right?
Yep.
And then residential, then it wants MLS number. So are we ID since the MLS number doesn't exist yet?
Yeah, that's a good question. That was a big hang up with a lot of people. Got a lot of calls on that. So what you have to do is make sure that you select NSAR.
So.
Yep. Because when you choose NSAR, it's going to ask you for an MLS number. And when you create a new transaction, I don't have an MLS number because I'm creating a new listing. So it's looking for an MLS number to import data into the system. Right? Thanks for pointing that out because that was a bit of a hiccup. So again, I know there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, but don't wait for January 1st to get started on this. Just go in and start testing it, practicing it, setting up some template kits, some transactions, linking your electronic signature, and most importantly, go to the Korea Training Hub site and just watch a couple of videos. It'll get you up to speed and knowledgeable really fast. You can contact Korea. Like I said, on the bottom there, we have the question mark. But if you call me, I'll still be able to help and be able to guide you. So we don't want you left out in the cold, so to speak.
There's a link on there too, right?
Yeah, there's a link on there. Your credit card number is? Just kidding. No, usually I'm pretty good. And for those of the people in the room who know me, that I'm not a 9 to 5er. I pretty much watch my phone at night, and if I see somebody in need and they need some help, and if I can help them, then I do. So I only gathered that because of owning my own business many years ago, that it's 24 hours. When you, as you know, as a realtor, it's like, you know, you don't stop because it's 5 o'clock. The phone rings, you pick it up. If you get an email, you got to respond to it, right?
I have a question. Something counter. So you can add, so I'm in a form.
Yep.
Filling it out. So under like edit, there is a line. Like going straight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I added the line.
Yep.
And I could not delete it.
Okay, so let me go into that feature. So when you're into a, let me get to a transaction here first. Okay. Steve. And. I just got to pick the right form here to get in there. Yes. No. No, close. I'm trying to get into that field. I know what you're talking about. And it depends on the form that you have to have available here. And I'm just trying to get to the right form so I can do that for you.
Oh, she found it.
Did you find it? Okay.
It's like, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Yeah, there's another function in there. I just want to show it to you to see if I can get in here because I had it here open previously. Let's try this one. Residential. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but once you get into a form that allows you to start entering in details, when you go to the top right corner there, the three dots, I can't think of the name. I'm drawing a blank right now. But when you click on that link, then a box opens up at the top that lets you put in a form or a dot or a strike through or any type of character that you need to place, like a highlighting a line or blocking out lines, striking out things. It will be to the top right corner. I'm trying to figure, I don't have a form in there that I can actually get a hold of. Let me just see if I can find one. No.
Steve,
Yep.
when you're right where you're at,
Whoops.
just,
Oh, where I was?
or you just, yeah, go back into that amendment. Set up.
You fill in your, how do you save?
Yeah, I can start entering information in here.
And so when you're done, save button.
So save.
Is that what it is? You go back out and it saves automatically?
No, the
No, that's-
folder file,
Up at the top?
and then
Oops. There it is. Save, save.
Oh,
Right there. It's just going to take a little while to figure out the navigation and getting yourself familiar and navigating around everything.
so I wonder the difference between save as PDF or PDF, like how.
Well, saving it as a PDF flattens the document. Right? If you save it, it's still editable. If you save it as a PDF,
It's not.
then you just flattened it. Right?
So is there any little like products?
That's a good question.
Because it just seems like that little icon up over there.
Sorry?
When you go in the folder, wherever you went to get the little disk, I wonder if there's any way to move that up to the top, so it's like save.
Yeah, it won't move. It's permanent, locked in place. Let's see here.
Why not?
Yeah. Hello. But I know that's a really fast, quick overview, but I think the goal, I just wanted to get over that stress and that hump that, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, but no, it's not really. We have to start using Webforms 2019. And it's going to take a little while to get around the navigation and understanding it. But like I said, go to the training hub, start watching the individual videos, and you'll slowly start to pick up the information bit by bit by bit. Kriya is available. If you get stuck, you have a problem, call me, call Kriya, and we'll get you right through the problem. Any other?
They have chat? No, they don't have chat.
They don't have chat. No, no chat. Email. Because when you email Kriya, it goes into like a ticket system. You get assigned a number, and then they have to go through the process and work through the ticket and blah, 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 right?
So what's the easiest, is that the easiest way?
That's the fastest way. If you call them,
Oh, if you call them.
just call them. Emails, I find, when you email Kriya, it's a process, right? You're just better off to call them and get to them.
Are those videos good? Oh, like, are they?
The videos are very, very good. Yeah, they're very, very well described and explained, and it goes step by step by step by step. Start here, do this, do this, do this, boom, right? Very well laid out. Any other questions? Queries? Do you feel better? A little bit? A little bit? No, not even, no? But jump right in, and it's like most software or all software, you can't delete or destroy or kill anything, right? Just go for it and jump in and start making it happen. What's that? Yep.